Economics 167, Lecture 8, Institutions and Service Delivery. Recap of last lecture. There's been a sharp rise in the number of democracies in the last 70 years. But not all democracies are created equal. Holding elections versus holding competitive elections. Holding elections versus holding free and fair elections. Democracy assistance is one standard way to aid developing countries in holding competitive, free and fair elections. But we don't know if democracy assistance helps. What do we know can help? Photo quick count in Afghanistan. Decrease voter aggregation fraud. Concentrated on the most connected candidates. No evidence of spillovers. So what do you think? Were you surprised opportunities for cheating were so rampant? Were you surprised such a simple intervention had such a large impact? What about external validity? Debates, the impact of voter knowledge initiatives in Sierra Leone. The authors filmed candidates debating and then randomly screened the video in different areas. These videos triggered a chain of events. They built political knowledge. They also changed how people voted. Candidates responded by spending more money in areas where there were debates, consistent with a swing voter investment model. There was then also greater post-election accountability in elected official spending for those who participated in debates versus those who did not. Interestingly, we parse the effects of information conveyed about policy versus charisma and find that both matter. On to institutions and service delivery. The value of democracy, evidence from road building in Kenya. Robin Burgess, Remy Jedwab, Edwin Miguel, Amit Majaria, and Gerard Padro, Juan Miguel. The American Economic Review 2015. Africa is becoming more democratic. Does democracy affect the extent of ethnic favoritism? Many have argued that ethnic favoritism has hampered the development of many African countries. Ethnic favoritism equals a situation where co-ethnics benefit from patronage and public policy decisions. But this is hard to measure. Empirical challenges, measurement, and getting data on public service delivery expenditure has been hard until recently. To measure the impact of ethnic favoritism, you need to observe changes in which ethnic group is in power. To then measure the impact of democracy, you need one ethnic leader switching between democracy and autocracy. How often does that happen? Enter Kenya. Key, you can tie ethnic groups to geography and thus associate roads with specific ethnic group. This is Enter Kenya, 1963 to 2011. External validity concern in the study period, 1963 to 2011, roads are the largest single element of public expenditure in Kenya at 15%. This is 3 times the government expenditure on health, education, or water. Road expenditure is centrally located and a highly visible form of public investment and thus a prime target for ethnic favoritism. Leadership changes. Kenyatta from 1963 to 1969, it was democracy. Then it became an autocracy from 1970 to 1978. Then Moi was an autocracy from 1979 to 1992. Then it became a democracy from 1993 to 2002. And then Kibaki was another democracy from 2003 to 2011. Put those two together, another way to look at it, in greater detail. Conclusion: across 1963 to 2011, Kenyan districts that share ethnicity of the president received twice as much expenditure on roads. This is unequivocal evidence of an extreme degree of co-ethnic favoritism. However, these biases are not constant. While periods of autocracy in co-ethnic districts receive 3 times the average expenditure on roads and 5 times the length of paved roads, both of these bases disappear during periods of democracy.